Hello and welcome to Peculiar English from the University of Notre Dame, Australia. And today we're going to look at some confusing words. So let's start with our first one, rise. It's a pretty common verb, isn't it? It means to go up. But the confusion comes with another word, raise, which means to put up. And with raise, you always have an object. Raise your hands, raise your arms, raise your head. The other thing is that rise is an irregular verb. So the past tense is rose and the past participle is risen. Let's look at some examples. Prices rise and fall in response to the market. Present. Petrol prices rose by 10 cents per litre last month. Past. Petrol prices have risen by 10 cents per litre this month. So that's present perfect tense, have and the past participle. Let's look at the other verb, raise. That's just a regular verb, raise, raised. So, shops raise and lower prices in response to the market. So you see the difference. Shops put up prices. That's the present tense. Petrol companies raised prices by 10% per litre last month. Past. And petrol companies have raised prices by 10 cents per litre this month. Present perfect, have and the past participle. And you can see in those examples, the top ones with rise just mean prices go up or went up. And the ones with raise, somebody put them up. Okay, now a similar kind of distinction with the next two verbs, which I think even a little bit more peculiar. Lie means to be down on a flat surface. She is lying down on the grass. People lie on the grass during the summer. Sometimes I like to lie on the beach if it's not too hot. But the other verb that it's confused with is the verb lay. And lay is an action to put something down on a flat surface. For example, to lay a carpet. So as you can see, somebody lays something. It has an object. So let's look at the grammar. Lie, lay, lane. It's irregular. I lie in bed reading most evenings. I lay in bed all night but couldn't get to sleep. That's the past. And I've lain in bed for hours but can't get to sleep. That's present perfect, have, and the participle lain. And the other verb has an irregular spelling, lay, laid. Remember, this means to put something down. They lay 10 meters of underground cable every hour. That's the present. They laid over 1 kilometer of underground cable last week. That's the past. They've just laid a new submarine cable. That means under the sea. And present perfect tense, have and the past participle laid. Okay, so lay is just like to be on a flat surface, and to lay something is to put it down. The confusion I think you'll see is that the past tense of lie, I lay in bed, is the same as the present tense of the other one. That's a little peculiar. Now this is really peculiar, I think. First you have the verb affect. It means to influence. And then you have the noun affect. The pronunciation is really pretty much the same in everyday use. And that's just the noun with a similar meaning, an influence. For example, the noise is affecting my concentration. The noise is having a bad effect on my concentration. The meaning is pretty similar. The first one is affect as a verb with a, and the second one a noun with e. But to make things a little trickier, both of these words also have the other form with a different meaning. Yes, peculiar. Affect as a noun means emotion or mood. And you find it especially in psychology or maybe literature. Tompkins identified 9 forms of affect, including rage, shame, and joy. Basically, emotions. And effect has another meaning as a verb. It means to bring about, to cause something to happen, especially for changes. For example, he was unable to effect any improvements in performance. Well, I hope you've got that. Here's some practice. In these sentences, I've given you 2 words and you just need to choose the correct one. You can pause the video and try it yourself, and then in a couple of minutes you can play the video again and you'll hear me going through the answers. So let's go through the answers. The first one is she managed to effect a transformation, to bring about a transformation. The next one, I was just lying down to sleep. The third one, COVID-19 has had long-term effects. It's the second one because it's a noun. This analysis raises some important questions. It brings up some important questions. Remember, raise always has an object. Rise never has an object. The next one, the pots had been carefully laid in the grave. They had been put in the grave. Somebody laid the pots in the grave. They put them there. If you have been affected by any of these issues, remember, affected is the verb. It means influenced. The university set out to raise international student numbers, to put them up, to increase them. Again, raise always has an object. Rise never. You are laying the foundations for a career in nursing. Lay foundations is the first part of building a house, but we also use it as a metaphor for other projects. Psychologists study cognition, behavior, and affect, in other words, emotion and mood. The pots have lain in the grave for over 1,000 years. They have stayed there. Lie, lay, lain. It's to be in a position on the ground or horizontal or flat. International student numbers have risen by 50%. They have gone up. And finally, Gen AI has already had profound effects, the noun, on professional communication. So very well done for completing that. Go back and have a look at the explanation and the examples. If you're confused, I hope not, although this may seem a peculiar part of English. I hope you'll understand it's not really